Part 2 of my birth story, so if you haven't seen the first part, go watch that and then come back. I forgot to mention, before they did my spinal, they were so sweet. They let me bring in a speaker and put on a playlist, so I was just listening to worship music. That's the only thing that was calming me down. I don't know if they gave me something, but after I got my spinal, I was so relaxed. I felt so calm. Andrew came in the room and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I feel fine." Andrew genuinely thought he was gonna pass out. He does not do good with blood or anything like that. And I really wanted them to drop the curtain when he came out. So we really thought that he was gonna pass out, but he didn't. Also didn't realize how fast a C-section is. They brought Andrew in, started cutting me open maybe 2 minutes later. Within 5 minutes, he was out. They were super nice and kind of talked me through like what was going on and like told me when they could see his feet, when part of him was out and everything. So I just thought that that was super cool. So then at 10:42, he was born. I don't think he was breathing when he first came out. They were supposed to drop the drape for me and they didn't end up doing it because they said he was too stunned. That like freaked me out a little bit, but also at the same time I was like okay, because I had remembered seeing other people's stories who had C-sections. When a baby comes out vaginally, contractions and everything pushes all the fluid out of their lungs. Obviously with the C-section baby that's not happening. It takes them a little bit longer sometimes to start breathing, and so I tried not to like freak out, but it was about 5 minutes before we actually got to see him. So it was a little scary, but it ended up all being okay. They brought him around the curtain and it was seriously like the best thing ever. I can't even describe to you the feeling of seeing your child for the first time. After this, I kind of like blacked out and don't really remember a lot. I remember just bits and pieces, but one thing that I do remember is how soft his skin was. I kept like rubbing his face and like kissing his cheek and I was like, he's so soft. Not sure when, but at some point they took Andrew and Baker to the recovery room. I don't know how long I was in there alone because like I said, I don't really remember everything, but then they took me back to the recovery room. I got to do skin to skin. Luckily, Andrew took videos because like I said, I don't remember a lot. It's really weird. I actually did the same thing at my wedding. I don't remember a lot of my wedding either. I think like big life events and really exciting moments in my life, I kind of just like, I don't even know. I like go somewhere else and like I'm just not there mentally anymore. One thing I do remember though is that I was insanely itchy after we got back to the recovery room. It was like all around my nose and right here and my eyes. I could not stop scratching. They told me that that was completely normal, but that was something I was not ready for. I was still itchy like that whole day and night.